All right, go for it.
Welcome to our Zinzino Science Insights today. It is the second day of December and it's chilly out. We're in the Northern Hemisphere. And so our topic today is going to be thermogenesis.
Ooh, I love when you talk like that.
Yeah. If this is your first time with us, of course, welcome. I'm Dr. Natalie Kather, and I'm a medical doctor that had board certified in family medicine and anti-aging medicine. And in my clinical work, I did a lot of integrative medicine as well as hormone balancing and metabolic medicine. And I'm so pleased to be here with my husband, Stephen Cherniske, a nutritional biochemist who's been in the nutrition industry for over 50 years, and he has served as a chief science officer for four different nutritional companies. And last year, we were invited to become science advisory board members for Zinzino, which we're really delighted about because we love what they're doing. We love the personalized test-based nutrition approach, the science, the innovation, and of course, the community.
Yeah.
So Stephen's put together a presentation for us today, which is perfect for these winter months because if you have seen our book, you know that we're into the metabolic makeover. It's all about energy. Well, in December, it's all about keeping warm.
Hmm. Hey, we did pay our electric bill, so it's not not that we're freezing inside our house. I think that, but the point was well made that the body creates energy and the body creates heat. And we augment that with coats and hats and scarves. But the point that Natalie's making is that this is a critical part of metabolism. We're going to discuss that a little bit today. I asked Perplexity to put together a slideshow, and and the Perplexity said, well, who's your audience? And I said, well, let's see, we've got a wide range of people, some with, advanced training in physiology, but most people not. So here's what Perplexity put together for us. And the reason that we're talking about this is because this is a critical part of metabolism and specifically impacted in two ways. In two ways. The first way, as you can imagine, is this way. All right. This is how you impact metabolism immediately. As soon as you pick up one of these and you lift it, right? What happens is the muscles are saying, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, we have to make what? More energy. Now, if you do that once, the muscles go, hey, well, that was interesting. But what if you did that every day or at least 3 times a week? What would happen is the muscle would go, hey, this is something new. We have to adapt. And how does your muscle adapt to that task that you're giving it? Because this is what? This is a stressor, right? It's a good stressor. And the muscle will adapt by creating more mitochondria. So that's a word that we've used before because we've talked about how the mitochondria within the cell are the little energy factories. And interestingly, as Natalie always points out, don't forget the mitochondria, those energy factories, also have a cell membrane. So take it away.
All right, so here's a reminder of what the diagram of a mitochondria and all these cell membranes which make up the mitochondria membranes. And that's
So again, omega-6 and omega-3, a factor here in mitochondrial efficiency.
Yep.
Ah,
All right.
wonderful. Now, saying that, how many mitochondria are there in a cell? In a typical muscle cell? That depends on how fit the person is. Isn't this amazing, right? Because now you're thinking, okay, by doing this, by lifting this weight, I'm going to make more mitochondria. Well, how many can I make? Well, you can double, you can triple, you can quadruple, you can quintuple the amount of energy producing mitochondria in every muscle cell of your body. You can do that. Not only through this, but through what else now? We're going to talk about 5 nutrients and where to find those nutrients.
All right.
Let's take a look at the little slide presentation. Again, it is this wonderful perplexity. How bioactive compounds fuel brown fat and mitochondria. Now, Natalie, talk a little bit about brown fat.
Brown fat is highly metabolic
Hmm.
in its efficiency, unlike white visceral fat that surrounds our guts and our heart, and our yellow subcutaneous fat. Brown fat is important for keeping us warm and
Yeah.
from freezing to death. And how nice of perplexity to say that this is a high school biology presentation.
Now, the nice thing about brown fat is that there's two aspects to it that you have to know. Number one, it's going to burn a lot of calories, right? So people who have a genetic ability, who are basically born with a whole lot of brown fat, and that brown fat's going to stay with them throughout their life. These are people, we know these people, they're called the naturally thin people. We hate them because they can never have to worry about gaining weight. If you look at a family history or a family photo of my father's generation, you're going to see nothing but a bunch of scrawny, scruffy, half-starving far Eastern European farmers, right? Oh, that's what I inherited. So I have a lot of brown fat, which means that I am hardly ever cold, all right, because my brown fat is just creating heat, and I'm burning a lot more calories compared to someone my same size, my same weight, my same age, who does not have that genetic gift. Now, if you weren't born with that genetic gift, right, and really only about 23, 25% of people are, you can make more brown fat. How do people make more brown fat, babe?
Well, by exposing themselves to cold.
Exercising in the cold.
Yep. And then, of course, there are nutrients that help us move forward in that
Ah,
process. And I pulled up a slide here showing people the distribution of brown adipose tissue, and it's in the neck, it's in the shoulders, goes into the armpits, it's along the spine, and you can see it's even in the upper abdomen. And these brown adipose sites are act differently than other fat cells. And that is because of what happens in their mitochondria,
wow.
that they have more of this,
UCP1,
yep, uncoupling
protein
protein one.
1.
And as you said before today, releasing protons.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So next slide, let's keep going here. This is going to be fun. I think people are going to really like this. So we'll explore how do mitochondria generate cellular energy, known as ATP, adenosine triphosphate, brown fat, the metabolic superhero tissue, five compounds that boost mitochondrial function, and the mechanisms that science has discovered, the MOA as it's called, the mechanism of action. The powerhouse is the mitochondria. They use nutrients, mostly fats and sugars, to create ATP. ATP, as you know, is the energy currency. More active mitochondria is more energy produced, better mitochondrial function, better metabolism. I'm going to say it again. How do you make more of these mitochondria? You do it, no matter what your genetics, you do it by exercising. And as Natalie just said, exercising in cold actually works better than exercising in the warm state. Not everybody wants to or feels good exercising in the cold, but that would be one additional factor if you were going to add all those different factors. When I was at UCLA, I was given this wonderful task of finding out, determining by counting with my microscope, counting the mitochondria in the cells of different groups. So I would go out to the track and field group, and I would take biopsies of their thigh muscle, little needle biopsies, and I would give them $100 in return, and I would go back to the lab and count the mitochondria. And for an elite athlete, it would normally be somewhere between 2 to 300 mitochondria per cell. Now, think about that. Then I would go into the office and I would find a sedentary office worker, and there were plenty of those. And I would give them $100 and take a needle biopsy of their same muscle. And I would take it back and be peering at the lab through the microscope. And sometimes it was hard to find them. There would be like 3, 4 mitochondria per muscle cell. Now, think about that. What was life like for the elite athlete versus the sedentary office worker? What did they feel like when they woke up in the morning? What did they feel like when they went through their day?
They had 100 times more energy.
100 times more energy. You see, so we're talking about something which is really important. So now let's get down to how do we improve all of this mitochondrial energy? We basically look at brown fat. Let's go to the next slide, please.
Okay. Thermogenesis. And we were talking earlier about exercise, and when we want to get to mitochondrial biogenesis, it's
Nobody talk like
yeah.
that.
We need to exercise to the point of grunting to challenge,
Ah,
right? So grunting is a good thing. It's just push through it, right?
yes.
But
It's that last few reps.
we were also talking about if we want brown fat production and activation,
Yeah.
we have to exercise to fatigue,
Ooh.
which means that I need to be more open to my trainer saying, and now, Natalie, we're going to go to fatigue. Okay. Normal cells, mitochondria burn fuel and make ATP and a little bit of heat. But the brown fat, because of this protein, the uncoupling protein 1, which releases the protons, yeah, things are warming up.
All right. Now, the five compounds. Curcumin, olive polyphenols, what do you know? Fucoidin, what do you know? Fisetin, flavonoid from fruits and vegetables, and omega-3 fatty acids. What's common to all of those five compounds? They're all found
In the Zinzino family of products. Woohoo!
So obviously, what we're pulling together here is a way for you to talk about the Zinzino family of products in a way which your listener might not be aware of. They might find it intriguing. They might find it interesting. They might find it motivating. Why? Because everybody wants more energy. If that wasn't true, you wouldn't find everybody sucking down energy drinks. But as we've talked about before many times, those energy drinks, those people are lying. They should be sued for fraud because none of those energy drinks produces real energy. Real energy is produced where? In your body, in your cells. That's where energy comes from. To beat up your nervous system and fry your adrenals with stimulants is not real energy, even though temporarily it kind of feels that way. In the same way, if you slap me in the face, I would be very alert, but I would never say, hey, let's do that 5 times a day.
For sure.
All right.
So curcumin,
Curcumin.
it's in ZinoGene, but it's also in the X-Gold.
Nice. Concentrated curcumin.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, olive polyphenols, we know where those are coming from.
Yeah, we got olive polyphenols in lots of products here. We got them in the R.E.V.O.O, of course, the balance oil, the premium balance oil, and the Essent capsules.
Yes.
We love our olive polyphenols. And the next one, fucoidans, ZinoGene, fisetin, ZinoGene, and then omega-3 fatty acids. Back to the balance products. Yep. All right, curcumin is the master regulator coming from turmeric spice. And for the nerdy people here, it's relates to its activation of PPAR gamma protein. And if people have heard about blood sugar control and energy, yeah, that's an important protein for that. And this is one of the things I love about curcumin is that it both turns on brown fat genes, yay for thermogenesis, but it also boosts energy, ATP production by 28%.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Again, it boosts ATP production by 28%. And couch potatoes? No. No. It boosts energy production by 28% in people who are exercising.
So I think we all know people that after they exercise, they still have cold hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's time to give them a nice warm drink of X-Gold or at least some ZinoGene.
Interesting. Interesting
Yeah.
idea. I love that idea. Moving right along. to the next olive polyphenols, thermogenic activators. And again, we don't talk about this a lot. We talk about maintaining the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio and how important that is. And it truly is, because that's our number one story that we have to keep in mind. But when it comes to talking about energy, thermogenic activator is a term that you might want to write down, because that means that a person is going to be burning fat. You can't make heat without burning calories, and that's for maintaining your ideal weight, and it's for giving you more energy to exercise. It all is a cycle, right? It's this beautiful cycle. Sure, they're talking about EVOO, right? Talking about key pathways being AMPK and a couple of other enzymes and coenzymes. And then the result, it increases UCP1 and activates thermogenesis. It increases the conversion of calories into heat rather than ATP.
So far we know that we have dual activators, so to speak. We've got curcumin and we've got olive polyphenols hitting both issues. And then fucoidans.
From brown seaweed, again, an activating AMPK, which again, all of these cell signals, right, with all these different names, UCP1, AMPK, PGC1 alpha, all of these cell signals, right, all you have to remember is that they are activated by exercise and they are amplified by these 5 compounds that we're discussing here.
And the fucoidan, so it looks like it leans more towards the energy aspect, but of course, indirectly, that does support what the brown adipose tissue does.
Yeah.
And fucoidan, again, is found in ZinoGene.
ZinoGene.
All right, the key regulators, AMPK and PGC1 alpha. So AMPK, low energy sensor. So this is a really smart protein.
Yes.
He's like looking around going, oh, I should make some more ATP, right?
Exactly.
Whereas PGC1 alpha goes over and flips on genes for building mitochondria, mitochondrial biogenesis. Thus, the result, more mitochondria and brown fat, active tissue activation. Fisetin, again, it's in ZinoGene, and it's also in strawberries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strawberries, apples, and kiwis. Again, benefits are it increases thermogenesis, reduces cellular stress. So that's something else we could talk about for the next hour and a half, which is this concept called hormesis, where you introduce a stress, but not too much stress, right? It's like the body really responds positively to just the right amount of stress. So again, you're talking about you're working out, and it's probably a good idea if you have a really strenuous workout. It's probably a really good idea to take the next day off and to recover. But again, your recovery is going to be enhanced by all of these signaling molecules that we're discussing today.
Yes. So ZinoGene and an apple a day will help keep the shivers away.
And some olive oil on your salad.
Oh yeah.
And some omega-3 fats in your breakfast. All right. All right.
All right. Fisetin. So another one another one that can have some dual activity again.
Yeah.
So curcumin, fisetin, olive polyphenols, dual benefits.
And then our favorite, omega-3 fatty acids, the signaling molecules, the activation of GRP120, and it activates brown fat programs and it reduces inflammation. Because remember, you're going to produce inflammation when this muscle is contracting, and the muscle is contracting, and through your exercise, whether you're walking up a hill, whether you're lifting weights, whatever you're doing, that is creating a couple of things. Number one, a temporary state of inflammation, and number two, some oxidative stress, because all that production of energy is throwing off a byproduct of energy production, which is a free radical. So that's called oxidative stress. So again, just enough, right? Just enough stress to activate all these wonderful metabolic pathways to do what? To protect the cell, to protect the cell by reducing oxidative stress with antioxidants, right? And by reducing inflammation. So everything is happening in this beautiful symphony of stress and reaction to stress, which is called recovery.
Well said.
All right. And let's wrap it up here.
All roads lead to energy. Okay, so the common theme, all 5 compounds activate AMPK to PGC1 alpha. That builds more mitochondria, also known as mitochondrial biogenesis, increases metabolic rate. Yay, we want energy. It also activates brown fat thermogenesis. Yay, keep our bodies warm. And then reducing oxidative stress. The energy pathway, nutrient input. We've got our 5 phytonutrients. Well, omega-3 is also fish nutrient.
Yes.
And algae.
Yes.
AMPK activation, yay, and then brown fat plus mitochondria, more ATP plus heat. All right, so why everyone should care, not just students. Metabolism affects energy, weight, and health. Food chemicals can influence gene expression. Yes, food is information.
Yeah.
Brown fat was thought inactive. Who thought that? Now it's a treatment target. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Personalized nutrition based on mitochondrial health. Key takeaways, bioactive compounds activate master regulators. I dare you to say AMPK today, that build a mitochondria, activate brown fat, boost cellular energy production. And so, why would activating brown fat be useful for metabolism? How does diet connect to gene expression?
Okay, real quick. What is gene expression? We just learned that these 5 compounds that are found in the Zinzino products alter gene expression. So let me really, really quickly discuss that because this is important. Your genes, think of your genes as a dimmer switch. A gene can be on, off, or anything in between. Right now, most of your genes are in the off position. Isn't that interesting? Right? And when the genes are turned on, the level at which they produce a specific protein is called the gene expression. And that's variable. It's variable depending on what you eat and what you do. There's multiple ways that you're going to alter gene expression in your favor to build a body that works better and lasts longer. So,
well said.
All right. Any questions from our group here this morning?
Oh, wonderful. Jennifer asks, if exercising in cold weather increases brown fat, does that mean exercising in heat, for example, hot Pilates or hot yoga, isn't good for me as I think it is?
Well, it's not going to be making more brown fat. I don't think so. I think you're going to be working out in a hot environment because you want other benefits, which are significantly cardiovascular benefits.
Heat shock protein.
So bravo. You're going to be creating heat shock proteins, and those heat shock proteins activate other signaling molecules, including, by the way, growth hormone and stem cell activity. So heat shock proteins, which is what you're doing when you're exercising in and you're sweating a lot, those heat shock proteins are activating stem cell repair throughout your body and brain. So that's good. But I don't think you're going to be making much brown fat. And knowing you, I don't think you need a whole lot of brown fat.
And heat shock proteins, do they also activate autophagy?
Yes.
So
cellular detox.
So eating up the bad cells. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you for joining us. Stay warm.
Stay warm.
And stay energetic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great meeting. Thank
Great
you.
presentation.
Really interesting.
Bye for now. Happy December.
Yeah. Thank you.
You as well.
Take care.
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank